What's going on, everybody? This is Robert Taylor Jr. And thank you for having me on this episode of I Remember When. No. I Remember When. And I want to talk about the time where I got to perform for Michael Jackson. What a great moment. What a great time. And this is one of the greatest moments in my entire career, as well as my entire life. So, to make a long story short, I started out with this dancing and singing with a singing group called Unity, and it was 3 guys and 5 girls, and we were rehearsing at this place called Faisal Studios in Times Square. And my manager, had went out for a quick break, and he spoke to this guy named Ahmad Alatab, and Ahmad was like a Michael Jackson impersonator who happened to have a connection with Michael Jackson. And I'm talking about as in going to his house and things of that nature. So at the time, my manager, he brought Ahmad into our rehearsal, and Ahmad showed us his Michael Jackson stuff, and we were very impressed. And then we showed Ahmad our singing and dancing skills, you know what I mean? Like stuff like unity, da 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 is what you, stuff like that. Campy stuff, but it worked at the time. So Ahmad was like, hey, why don't you be a part of my act, to go perform for Michael Jackson? And we were like, what do you mean? And then he said, because I'm performing for Michael Jackson next week. And we're like, what? What? And my manager was like, really? And Ahmad was like, yeah. And we're like, what? We're looking at each other like, what? What? So we're still wetting each other for the next, 4 or 5 days. So rehearsal's on. We rehearsed with Ahmad, and things went well. Things went very swiftly, and we still are wetting each other, during rehearsal and after rehearsal. So the day comes, July the 6th. This is 2002, y'all. Oh yes, oh yes. So this happened at Webster Hall in New York City, and we get to the rehearsal, and then everybody's rehearsing. We see all the acts, all the Michael Jackson impersonators, all the singers, all the dancers, the whole nine. And we're like looking at each other like, we're like, oh my God, this is happening. So bam, showtime happens, and then we don't see Michael just yet. So Ahmad, he gets on the stage and he does his like, together, thing, and he's doing that thing, and then we come on the stage, and then we do our singing and dancing bit. Michael wasn't there yet. But then on the second verse of our song, Michael walks in the room. We hear this big burst of energy, this big applause. Everybody's like, oh my God, oh my God. Ah! Clearly it wasn't my group. So we looked up, and there was Michael Jackson, and we're still doing our singing unity, still doing our thing. And Michael Jackson, he just sits on down and watches us perform the rest of the song. Now, mind you, we still had a second verse and a chorus and a bridge and a chorus to take out twice. So there was another at least 4 minutes of the song left. So we're still going, and I probably didn't hit at least half my notes because I was busy, crying on the inside. I was tearing up. I was cracking, and I was just so happy to see him. It was an incredible time, and we hit our final pose like ba-da-da-da-da-do. Bow! A final pose, and Michael's like this, you know what I mean? Like, he's doing this thing, and he's like giving us a thumbs up, you know what I mean? And even throughout the song, Michael, he had this head bob going on. It was like, and the beat was like, and Michael's got this thing going on, and he's doing that head thing, you know what I mean? And I'm like, I know that head thing, you know what I mean? Because I saw him do it on the Oprah Winfrey Show and everywhere else that he does it. So I was just, so ignited that night. And it was just one of the greatest times of my life. And again, one of the greatest times of my career. And, to this day, I can, gratefully and humbly say that I got to perform for Michael Jackson. And, I just remember how he just watched us, and it was just one of those moments where you can't even duplicate it, man. Like when I tell you I got starstruck, believe me, like he's one of those very few people that catches me on a starstruck level, and he, you know, things like that just don't happen anymore. You know what I mean? And it was during a time and an era where I feel that everything was just so great. I loved the TV shows, and I loved the music, and I loved the dance industry at the time, and I just loved how people were, and I loved that there was no social media. But yeah, so that's my I remember when. So I would elaborate more on the feeling of it and the essence of it, but there's a lot of detail that comes with it from the, getting there before and after. So talk to me on another session or on a one-on-one. But that's my I remember when. So thank you so much for having me. Myriam, shout out to you, because I remember when you were my wife in the hip hop nutcracker, and you were amazing, girl. You are the bomb.com/woo. You know what I'm saying? Love you. Peace and love, everybody. I'm Robert Taylor Jr. Mwah. Peace out, y'all.
Wow. That must have been the experience of a lifetime. I'm so happy you got to do that, and I know that he's your biggest inspiration and idol. So thank you both for sharing. Thank you all for watching, and please stay safe, stay smart, and let's make this change. Yeah. I'll catch you next time on I Remember When.